Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a very special edition of the Ambassadorial Wing. And I am, of course, your host, the Ambassador. And tonight we're going to do things just a little bit different. Got something special for y'all that will become a regular thing. So before we get started, just bear with me for a moment. I got something special to share with you all. Just give me 1 second here. Close that. We're here. So, yeah, tonight, folks, I just wanted to take a few minutes, and that has gotten me this far. We are at 233 subscribers. And if you had told me back in October that I would be at this point in my channel, I would have said, no way. But I could not have gotten here without all of you. And in recognition of all of my wonderful supporters and subscribers and followers on Twitter and YouTube, and to my wonderful wife who encouraged me for almost 2 years to start this channel, and for the talents and abilities that the good Lord gave to me. I know this might seem a little odd and everything, but folks, this is for you. Cheers. But yeah, 230 subscribers. I know that might seem like a very odd number to kick off on or do a celebration for, but you know what? I am anything but conventional. But it has been a fantastic ride. Like I said, I couldn't have gotten here without all of you, with all of my supporters, from PJ from Orville Nation, from the dynamic duo over at Fandom Collective, to the wonderful community of the Grey Order, who has been so supportive of me in these last few months, to everybody in the chat, to my wonderful moderator, Shea Stormdragon, who's pretty much been here since the beginning of my channel. And to everybody who will be coming in here in a little bit, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. And here is to 300 and beyond. So, tonight we are going to cover a very special topic. This is a topic that you all voted on Twitter. We're going to be talking about the film career, the films of one of the true greats, John Carpenter himself. So, but this is going to be a fun one, folks, because John Carpenter has done everything under the sun when it comes to film. He's done horror, he's done action, he's done science fiction, he has practically done it all. And he has been a huge picture of cinema since his very earliest days. So tonight we're going to discuss a great man, a great director, a great writer, a great musician. This is truly a man of jack of all trades. And to join me in these auspicious occasions, I've got my guests. Tonight, I've got 4 truly extraordinary YouTubers and truly extraordinary people in their own right. And the first needs no introduction. He has been on the Ambassadorial Wing on numerous occasions. Give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, to Orange Hat Reviews.
Well, you all know what Jack Burton says. It's all under reflexes. How you doing, Ambassador?
Orange, good to have you here, my friend, as always. So,
Yep.
and of course, I do feel somewhat guilty. It should have been ladies first. My next guest is new. This is her first time in the ambassadorial wing. Everybody give a round of applause to the one, the only, Jane Theory.
Hey guys, how are y'all doing tonight?
Good evening, Jane.
Excellent.
Good to have you on. Good to have you on this evening. So
I'm happy to be here.
yeah, ditto. So, and then of course next has been a fill-in mod, has been a guest on the ambassadorial wing, has become a very good friend of mine. Classic Comics. And his mic's muted.
Hello.
Evening, sir. Welcome. Glad you could join us tonight.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Welcome back from the Court of Owls.
And you thought nobody would recognize that avatar. And of course, our final guest and everything is by no means a nobody. He is a very big somebody, at least in my book. I have just recently started streaming with him. He is a excellent fella. Give it up for Nobody Geek, aka Jesse.
Hey, Ambassador. Hello, everybody. I hope y'all can hear me. I hope we don't have any technical issues like last time. And hey, man, I'm actually thrilled and honored to be here.
Glad to have you, Jesse. Glad you could join us tonight. So, we'll go around the horn real quick if y'all want to plug your channels if you have one and everything, and then we'll get right into the topic.
Alrighty, who goes first?
Well, as always, on my stream anyways, ladies first. So, Jane?
Okay, hey guys, you can find me here on YouTube as Jane Theory. I do movie and television reviews and occasionally some entertainment and pop culture news and commentary. I also am on Twitter at Jane Theory, and you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. Stop by.
Mm-hmm.
Gentlemen, whoever wants to go next.
Alrighty, I'll go. I'm Orange Hat Reviews. I do movie news, entertainment review, or movie reviews, entertainment news, show reviews, sometimes even book reviews. I cover controversial topics. I cover everything ranging from some comic stuff to even stuff I really don't like, but you know, everybody's got to cover that once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Orange Hat Reviews without the A in orange because, well, Twitter likes to limit things. You can find me on, well, I'm not openly on Facebook, but you could find, or if you could find my avatar, you can find me. And I'm also on Instagram. And yeah. Hit me up, follow, like, subscribe, share, all that jazz.
So, Jesse, classics. If you have a channel or anything.
okay,
Well, Classic Comic, you go first.
Okay. So, Classic Comics, my channel, I review comics, obviously. Also do reviews of TV and television and various genres, sci-fi, fantasy. I'm actually uploading my latest Star Trek Picard review right now. That should be up later tonight. And yeah, come by and give me a look, please. I need every view I can get.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I am Nobody Geek on Twitter. You can find me there if you want to. Just FYI, you'll find both geek topics and political stuff. But honestly, that's it. I don't give out my Facebook because my Facebook is specifically for people I know. It's just the way it is. But I have no YouTube channel. My goal right now is just to enjoy making montages. I kind of got a few of those done. I want to do a couple more. Got some ideas, but that's it. Other than that, I'm too busy. I don't have the time to do a YouTube page, and to be honest with you, there's too many people like the Ambassador who are doing it better than I could anyway.
Thank you, Jesse. I appreciate that very much. Well, folks, one other thing. This doesn't necessarily pertain to the topic, but we got our order from Box Lunch today, which I've done a video on, and I've posted a few pictures of things. And I'm particularly proud of this. I love this to death and everything, but this puts a smile on my face.
Well, let's put a smile on that face.
It's the Infinity Gauntlet. It's a lamp. So, anyway.
Any chance you can send us a picture of it when it's turned on?
Yes, I will. I'll post something on Twitter and everything later. So, but anyway, that all being said, folks, let's hop into this topic. Let's not waste any more. Okay, we're not wasting time, but let's get into it. John Carpenter. This is a man who has done film since the 1970s and has had a relatively consistent career. Or, well, at least especially in the 70s and 80s, he had a very, very good and very prolific career. Let's put it that way. And he has done so many great films. And tonight we're going to discuss as many of those films as humanly possible. So, panel, where do we want to start first?
I think it's only appropriate that we start with one of his most famous movies.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween.
Okay. I have no objection to that. Panel, what about y'all?
Sounds good.
Okay.
That works.
Well,
I found this actually, I kid you not, I found this in a Walmart in my hometown when I was visiting my daughter. And that, the Friday the 13th and Freddy Krueger were there. And I was just like, I can't pass this shit up.
So is that a steelbook of it?
No. It's just a action figure.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's just an action.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just an action figure. It's got some. I haven't decided where I'm gonna display these. I'm not taking them out of the box, but
No.
Yeah, everybody knows that's a boo boo.
But no, I've
That's
got
bad
the
juju.
other ones, and I'm just I haven't decided where I'm gonna put them yet. I got to find a display place. But they had Child's Play, but unfortunately it was Bride of Chucky, and nobody likes that movie.
No, not particularly. So, well, I just real quick shout out before we get into our first topic. Hello to Speaker for the Dead, Kathia Star, my moderator, Shay Storm Dragon. Glad you all could be here tonight. Hope you all enjoy the show. And to everybody who watches the replay, hope you all enjoy the show as well. So, let's get into it. I know it's not necessarily Halloween time, but dang, it's creepy outside. It's so dang quiet. Michael Myers will feel right at home for a lot of people. For a lot of people.
Oh my God, I was in.
He's already wearing a mask.
Oh yeah. Didn't somebody tell me that what's her name, the Scream Queen, posted that on Twitter or something? It was just hilarious.
Well,
so appropriate.
Yeah, Halloween. I think we'll first go everything around the horn, say and talk about when we first saw it, where we saw it, our initial impressions, and then we'll get into some of the finer details of the film. I did not see this in theaters because, well, I was too young at the time. I actually saw it on. We got a copy of it on VHS when VHS was still a thing, and every and I mean every Halloween, I would always watch Halloween. Actually, I'd watched the first two back to back. So, but yeah, it's this film is scary as all get out. Even to this day, this movie gives me the creeps. And just that music sets your hair on edge.
Stealing my thunder there.
So it was just one of those films where you just the music and just how unsettling Carpenter makes the atmosphere of this movie. And the fact that the majority of this film is actually from the point of view of Michael.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't find out per se why he does what he does. Just the simple fact that he is psychotic and he likes to kill his family. He likes to commit familicide. He likes to kill patricide, mariticide, and sistercide. He likes to kill his family and he'll kill anybody that gets in his way. And he is like an unstoppable force. And then, of course, you've got one of the truly great British actors portraying Dr. Loomis, Donald Pleasance.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course you've got as was mentioned earlier, the Scream Queen herself, Jamie Lee Curtis as the sister, Laurie Strode. And this film, I'll let somebody else go and everything because I don't want to get into too much or anything. So, who's next?
You got a minute? I'll say a few things about the movie Halloween. I didn't see it in theater because I wasn't born yet. I didn't get born until a year later.
Ditto.
I actually cannot say when I saw that movie. I can tell you with 99% certainty I know where I saw it. My grandmother had a library of VHS tapes. My grandfather used to go to the store and rent movies from Blockbuster, for anybody who remembers what that is. And and he would record movies. And, this was before they had the blocker, that little blocker thing. And then my grandfather got one of those descramblers until it was illegal. And he still had it because my grandmother was ill of health and couldn't go out. Yeah. But she loved movies. So I grew up down in that, down there. And I'm telling you, I know I saw Halloween down there because I had to have seen it there of all places because I saw every great horror movie ever made, in my opinion, down in that basement. In my mind, oh God, if anything I can think of where that movie, the music, the score, just the chills. I'm 40 years old and that music, just that is, oh my God, yeah. It's like the Jaws theme. You just know. That's my daughter. My daughter just photobombed us.
That's all right.
She's adorable. I love you too, honey. The score was fantastic. I love the way they did it. The score, the timing of the score, the atmosphere. I mean, the guy's just walking around in broad daylight. And then he's like there and then he's gone. And, you don't know why he's going after Laura until, yeah, there you go. Oh my God. Whew. Chills. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm going to have to change my ringtone now. Well,
you
my
can
ringtone's
actually find it on a 10-hour loop on YouTube. That's what I'm playing it from.
Yeah.
A 10-hour loop.
I can only do 3 of the Halloween movies. I can do the first one, the second one, and Halloween H2O. I can't do any of the rest of them. But to me, that was just a great trilogy as a whole. I don't acknowledge the other ones. I did like the Rob Zombie ones to a point, but that's a whole nother story. But the ambiance, the music, and here's the crazy thing. If there had been a PG-13 rating at the time, this movie would have got a PG-13 rating. There was very little cussing, as far as I remember, very little sex, nudity. I mean, there was sex, but come on, they've been showing more skin since the 90s.
There was the breast shot.
Oh, that's PG-13 easy.
I think that's still R.
It might.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that movie could have with the budget he had, just what they pulled together, and the actor, that British actor, I can't think of his name, but you just mentioned, phenomenal. Loved him.
Pleasance.
Yeah.
No, well, Donald Pleasance, but you're thinking of the guy that played the new Dr. Loomis.
No, not him. I'm still talking classic. I'm not talking Rob Zombie.
Yeah, it's Donald Pleasance. Yeah. Donald Pleasance,
yeah. He was fantastic. I loved his character. You actually, at first, you can buy into the fact that you think, okay, this guy's a nut job. This kid was a kid, but then he's like, he steals a car and it's like he didn't know how to drive. Well, he's doing it now. It's just like, I'm gonna end it there and let somebody else take over. But as far as I'm concerned, the music was great, the score was great, and that brief second we got to see him without the mask was just awesome. Wait. And when Laura said, and when the Scream Queen said, "Is that the boogeyman?" Yes, and it was just like, man, that hit home for an ending.
Yep, certainly did. So, okay, who's up next?
I'll follow up with that. When we talk about the atmosphere, that's one of the things I loved about his films, but especially this particular film, because it was very, it's sort of like subtle horror, where you don't necessarily know the setup, but you're worried, you're anxious, you're scared, even though you start off looking at something completely mundane. And then it's complex too, because like you were saying, you don't necessarily know what's happening or why. You just know that you're terrified. And the characters that you're watching through his eyes should be equally terrified, but they're going about their normal lives. So I love that part of it.
Yeah. Somebody else?
Classic.
Okay, so I guess I'll go ahead and go. So I first saw the film, similarly, I wasn't old enough to see it in theaters when it originally aired. The first time I saw it was when it aired on network television for the first time. I think it was in October of '81. They showed it on TV. And obviously it was a kind of cut down version. It wasn't the theatrical version. But I remember seeing that, of course, and really enjoying it. And I've seen, I think, every film in the series except the last one they did before the Rob Zombie remake. And I forget the name of it now. But it's one where there's some people doing like a reality show inside Michael's house, his old house. And then, of course, he shows up and starts to murder them. I never saw that, and I never saw the Rob Zombie movies, but I've seen all the others. And really enjoyed the latest one, the not remake, but the reboot or relaunch that they did in 2019. And actually
18.
I saw, was it 18?
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry.
And
that's a reflex.
That's fine. That's fine. And I actually did finally see it in the theaters the year before that, the October before that. So I guess it would be 2017 now. There's a studio movie grill near me, and they showed it like in October. They had a couple of showings of it. So I finally saw it in theater, which was nice.
And me, are you done, Classic?
Yeah, I'll stop for now. You can go ahead.
Well, I was not born in the 70s. I'm an 85 kid. And so the first time I saw it was like 1992. So I was around 7. And I saw on TNT of all places. So they cut out all the good stuff. But I did I caught it from the beginning where Michael kills his first sister and whatnot. And they arrive, they take the mask off, they go in, you hear the scream and whatnot. And as I played the music just now, and just for fun, I'm going to do it again.
Just don't get me a copyright strike, Orange, please.
Just a little bit, that's all. That music there is it stands the test of time.
Mm-hmm.
Even today, even back 2 years ago, when that movie was in theaters, I felt chills. I had to look over my shoulder in the theaters when I was watching the 2018 Halloween, because it raises your hackles, it stands the hair on the back of your neck, it makes you scared because you do not know what is coming. I mean, yes, it's very easy to attribute it to Michael Myers, but it just has the right way of playing with you psychologically. It is a psychological music that makes you afraid, that triggers the fear, or that triggers the fear sections in your brain. And when I heard that, it's like, oh my gosh. Now, when it comes to the 2018 movie, it's not a soft reboot. It's actually a sequel to Halloween 2. Meaning, because they
pretty much ignored everything.
Right.
Yeah, they turned everything else into a separate universe. Halloween is basically a multiverse now. And
we don't need that. We
like
got
a bunch of other
the
movies.
Terminator doing that crap.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing, though. But
this was about the third time they kind of rebooted it.
Yeah, and they are. I actually will say I did like H2O and Resurrection. Those two, they kind of fit together. And but the other movies, Halloween 3, we're not even going to discuss that because that had nothing to do with Halloween.
Well, not to
so
mention
why they even called it Halloween 3 was just
I
ridiculous.
don't even think John Carpenter directed that one. So we're focusing on Carpenter himself.
Yeah.
He didn't direct
Halloween
3, but he produced it.
Well, it still doesn't matter. That had nothing to do with Michael Myers. But
anyway, the idea
the kids watching too much TV.
The idea of the season of the witch was they were thinking they were going to do anthology, and then they realized that wasn't going to work.
Yeah,
people weren't going to go see it.
Yeah, and then you had Return of Michael Myers, then Curse of Michael Myers. I gotta say, one of those, or the kills in Curse of Michael Myers. Holy crap, man! He picks up a woman by the throat, puts her head right through a damn spike, and I'm like, whew, that's okay. And then puts his his niece, who was supposedly Laurie Strode's daughter, puts her on freaking farming equipment, and it's like, how is she still alive telling him he's never going to find the baby? It's just, oh my gosh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Nobody could have survived that. But,
I've not seen those, so I don't have a clue.
Yeah, but the movies, oh my gosh, they were just so great. I'm not going to get into any graphic detail, but the zombie movies, the Rob Zombie movies weren't bad, but they weren't. But they're not Carpenter. We're staying on Carpenter.
Yes.
But the Halloween movie, the original one, my favorite part is actually one of the most iconic parts where he's trying to get to her through the closet.
Oh,
and that's when she really got the whole Scream Queen moments there, man.
Oh yeah.
Well, remember all those horror tropes that we all joke about now all were because of these kind of movies.
Yeah.
All those rules got invented because of movies like that. Don't hide in the closet. Well, none of us thought about that until then.
Excuse me. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Well, I think we've covered Halloween relatively thoroughly, so we'll move on.
Yeah.
Anybody have objections? We talk about The Thing?
Nope.
Not at all.
No.
Okay. All right. I know this is kind of a horror film, but it's more of a sci-fi. And this this is one of my. I can watch this any time of year. I don't care. It doesn't have to be Halloween time or anything. I can watch The Thing any time of the year. Here's the fun fact, and most of you all may know this. This is actually based on a short story called
The Thing
Who
from
Goes
Another
There?
Planet.
Yeah, Who Goes There? Thank you, classic. Appreciate that. Yeah, Who Goes There? And the original black and white one isn't quite as faithful.
It's still good.
So, and and someone new in the thing, Jungle Hunter, welcome. So, but honestly, I love the cast because, of course, this is one of the first times, or well, no, because I think they had done Escape from New York, but I think this is one of the first couple of times that Carpenter and Kurt Russell worked together, because you gotta realize you can't talk about Kurt Russell without John Carpenter or vice versa.
Mhm.
But this is, I watched the making of documentary on this movie. There's actually a couple with the DVD, and I'm like, dang, they went all out for this film, and it is a great film. It truly is. It is just one of those. Again, it's very atmospheric. That's the great thing about Carpenter, because he never had big budgets for any of his films, and he had to be very atmospheric, but he could do it on a budget. If you're talking about The Thing, this sucker is atmospheric as all get out. So, y'all's thoughts on The Thing?
It wasn't one of my favorites,
Mhm.
but I did like. I mean, it was like prototypical '80s film. But I did like the practical effect aspect of it. I think that added
Yeah.
a lot to it. But yeah, that's if I understand what I did like about it, it would be the effects were
Yeah.
memorable.
Oh yes, yeah. You could definitely say that the practical effects in The Thing were very, very, very memorable. They were by no means anything you had not. They were not anything you had seen before in film.
Or whatever. Forget.
And yeah, the pork. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Speaker. Yep. Let me. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That is so very true. And honestly, that is one scene that I always have a hard time watching, because I hate to hear an animal in pain, and it just. That part bothers me. So if we can avoid that at all possible and talk about any other scene besides the dogs, I'm all for it. So
I'm gonna say this: the Thing is one of those. I don't even. I mean, other than the fact that it was made in, I think I checked it, 1982, and as far as I'm concerned, and
it was
as far
early
as I'm
80s.
yeah, and as far as I'm concerned, the practical effects staying up to this day.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, you want to talk about scaring the crap out of me. I watched that reboot they did. What was it, 4 or 5 years ago?
It was 2011, I think.
Okay. The CGI was so bad,
So
and
bad.
the atmosphere was not the same. It was too bright. It was too cheery and hopeful. Whereas this movie was paranoia.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know who to trust. I mean, the movie ends and you still don't know
Because
if either one of them is that thing, and it ends with them sitting out there. They're probably going to die. But and all they're doing is basically at the end they're still staring at each other like, I don't trust you, you don't trust me. Well, I guess we're just going to have a little standoff here. But the movie, just the effects were scary. They hold up outstanding, in my opinion, to this day. And the atmosphere, I never thought about the music of it per se, but just the atmosphere, the lighting. It just works so beautifully. The isolation, paranoia, it just that's why I say, you could call this a horror movie, and I would agree with you, or you could call it a sci-fi, but I would call it kind of a psychological, in some ways, a psychological thriller or a psychological horror.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. You could definitely make the argument that this movie fits into 3 different genres. It's sci-fi, it's horror, and it's a psychological thriller, most definitely. And it's based on a very, very good short story, which those are in short supply these days, unfortunately, sadly. Before were all put on lockdown and all movies were canceled.
Yeah.
It's not like we're getting anything good anyway.
We are occasionally. So
There was a couple things that had interest, but yeah.
So, classic orange.
Me.
Okay.
I honestly can't say anything on the thing because honestly, that is one that I haven't seen.
You almost make me spit out my drink. We can no longer be friends. And I cast you
I hate it
out.
when you find out what I don't know.
I'm kidding, of course. Okay, well, classic. Anything? Your
Okay.
thoughts on the thing?
Yeah, well, in my opinion, The Thing is John Carpenter's best movie. As Jess said, it's and as I think maybe you noted earlier, someone did about establishing mood or establishing the atmosphere in his movies. He's very good at that.
Oh yeah.
And this one is definitely, I think, his most nihilistic film, probably.
Oh yeah.
Because as the movie goes on, you increasingly realize this is a hopeless situation, and that there's really, it's hard to see how there's going to be a positive ending. And I think it's also one of Kurt Russell's best performances is in that film.
Oh yeah.
And he worked with, of course, David Keith was in it, who he would work with in They Live. And it was just a lot of good character actors in that film, the cast for the most part. And it also kind of, much like Halloween spawned a lot of imitators, The Thing spawned a lot of imitators too. I think Leviathan, that was one I think came out like 10 years later or so. That was a good movie.
Somewhere along there.
And I'm trying to remember. There was actually a TV show. What was it called? That was kind of based on kind of a Thing-like premise, where there's this shape-shifting alien who gets loose on Earth. I forget what. Something is Out There. That's what it was called. Something is Out There, which ran like in the late 80s, like around 87, I think, for like one season.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So, well, and one point I will make, this was a top-notch cast. And I love the fact, I find it ironic now that we had Wilford Brimley in this movie and he played the villain. Because think about it, he played the final form of the alien before it did its final mutation and everything and turns into that giant beast thingy. And Kurt Russell's character McGreedy's like, oh, F you too. And then he chucks that bundle of dynamite and everything at the thing.
Wilford Brimley was the Thing.
He was one version of it, yeah.
He's one of my favorite freaking actors.
Yeah, you haven't sent him to watch the movie.
Yeah, you damn right I do.
Wilford Brimley. Yeah. But this Kurt Russell, just any movie he did with John Carpenter he absolutely owned, but in this case that whole cast absolutely owned this film. I mean, every single guy, I can't remember the name of every single actor in the movie. I remember Keith David, who played Childs, I think it was the other guy that survived and everything at the end. And he's using this. Yeah. Kathia brings up a good point. Yeah, but you know what? Even for that being the case, they acted their butts off and they did a good job. So they did an outstanding job. So, but okay, well, I have picked the first couple, so unless there's anybody else wants to bring anything else up about the thing, we'll move on, and I'll open up the floor. What y'all want to talk about in terms of John Carpenter? Films or whatever.
I've got just one. All I'm going to say is this: it's a very guilty pleasure because it's not one of his better ones. But that John Carpenter's The Ghost of Mars.
You brought that up. You brought that up in the chat room. I am. Yes, absolutely. And Jesse Baines, you brought it up. We'll let you take the lead on this one. So the floor is yours, sir.
Oh my God, the movie is
just one thing real quick. Has everybody else seen Ghost of Mars?
I may have seen it once, but I can't remember.
I think I've seen it.
It actually has Natasha just real quick, it has Natasha Henstridge and Ice Cube in it.
Yes, I did see
Jackie
that.
Brown.
Okay.
It's a 2001 film, right?
Not Jackie Brown, but
yeah, I forget her. Pam Grier. Yeah, she was in
Pam Grier. Thank you.
Yeah, Pam Grier. Pam Grier's in this.
I think that's honestly the only reason I saw the movie was because Pam Grier was in it because I loved her. And hey, Jackie Brown is my favorite. I'm just gonna go there. No, this movie is bad. It is bad. It is not good. It is very lame. It is cheesy as hell, and I love it. And that's all I'm going to say. Is they go to Mars. There's like this mist that pops out or something, causes an infection. People start turning into crazy zombies, and Ice Cube and the lady
Natasha Henstridge.
Natasha. Okay.
Yeah, Natasha Henstridge. She was in
the Species chick.
Yeah, she was in Species.
Yeah.
And she was also in Whole 9 Yards and Whole 10 Yards with Bruce Willis and Matthew Perry. But anyway, beside the point. Jesse,
Jason Statham was also in it? Huh.
He was? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Jericho Butler.
Yeah, he was. I forgot all about that. He was the one trying to always he was trying to knock boots with the lead female character in the movie.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that. All right, anyway, look, the movie is just, oh God, the movie is just cheesy. It's kind of crappy and campy. You can't take it seriously, but it's a guilty pleasure of mine. It's just one of those, and I'm going to leave it at that.
What I thought was really kind of unique about it, I think that may have been the first film I saw that was sort of set up like a video game. And I think at one point he actually says, like, think of it as a game, and they go from there as if you're going through layers in a shooting game. That was crazy to me, but yeah, I mean, it was all right. It was not great, but I could see how that could be a guilty pleasure because it's goofy.
Classic Orange.
I can't remember.
I was going to say that
I did see it. I just can't remember much of it.
I'm
drawing a blank.
Okay.
Everyone has seen it and blocked it out.
I haven't. Jesse hasn't. Classic. Have you seen it? Go ahead.
Yeah, I've seen it. So, I think
memory.
I said The Thing was his best film. I think Ghost of Mars might be his worst film. It's not good, in my opinion. It's just kind of dumb.
When it comes to
time on his hands.
Yeah, my favorite film. Hopefully, we can discuss it next. Big Trouble.
Yeah, we'll definitely do Big Trouble. Count on it. We'll spend a little time on that one. But just a few comments I'll make on Ghost of Mars. Honestly, I love this film. I do. I legitimately love Ghost of Mars. It's honestly one of my. It's right up there with all of Carpenter's movies and everything. I don't have tiers of Carpenter. Some are good, some are, even if they're campy as all hell, they're good, because I look at the man's body of work that he has done over the years, and everything he's done has its own unique thing to it, and its own the characters and the atmosphere are what hooks me. And these are really interesting characters in this movie. And I love the fact that you've got a convict, or, well, he's not really a convict, played by Ice Cube. And this is when Ice Cube was getting into acting. I think he does a good job in this film. I legitimately do. I think he's a good actor. I think Ice Cube has had a good acting career, even though he's done some that were, by and large, he's done good movies. And this is one of the, this one was right up there with him. But I think the other thing about Ghosts of Mars that I love is, honestly, and this is true of all of Carpenter's movies, but this has a really unique score to it. And we'll get into this a little bit more when we talk about Big Trouble in Little China, because Carpenter, more often than not, scored all of his own movies, and Katie actually brings that up in the chat, has brought that up in the chat and everything. I think she's talking about Halloween and everything. It took him 3 days to compose the entire score for the film and everything for Halloween. Carpenter's got a good musical ear. He's got good cinematography. He's got a good eye. He's got a good ear. Well, heck, he's got a good brain. Period. There. But
yeah, his scores are always amazing.
I know, and this one had a really good cliffhanger ending on it, because they end up back at some base somewhere on Mars, and the outbreak has just gotten worse. And I remember Ice Cube's character and Natasha Henstridge's character saying, "You know what? If you ever want to go crooked, you make a good crook." And and Natasha Henstridge says, "Hey, if you ever want to go straight, you'd make a good cop." And they're like, nah. let's just do what we do best. Kick ass. Yep. And that's a fades to black from there.
Yep.
But yeah,
it has its moments, I must admit. That's why I love it.
Well, the only one thing I will say that's kind of annoying for me anyway about Ghosts of Mars is the head Martian. He sounds okay. I don't usually get obscene, but it sounds like somebody's doing to us is scrunching the ever-loving crap out of his privates, and it's making him emit that noise or talk that way in that Martian gibberish.
Okay.
And then, of course, there is that one scene. I can't remember who gets possessed by one of the Martian ghosts or whatever. And they end up figuring out what the heck is going on. Speaker, we can no longer be friends. Of course, he might be just making a pun, which he very well could be. Brian's good at those. Anyway, okay.
Oh, I just saw that.
Yeah, there's always a little bit of a delay with the comments on StreamYard. It's so biggie. Well, is there anything further we want to say about Ghosts of Mars? If not, we'll move on to Orange Hat, and we'll talk about one of Carpenter's truly iconic cult classics, Big Trouble in Little China. So, anyway, Orange, if you want, you can take the lead on this one, and we'll just go around the horn. And I'm assuming everybody's seen Big Trouble in Little China?
Yeah.
Okay. Classic?
Good.
Go ahead. Okay. Well, I mean, I really like the film.
No, we were going to let Orange go first because he brought the topic.
Sorry.
Then we'll go around the horn. I was just making sure you had seen it.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it, definitely.
Okay. All right. Orange,
Well,
the floor is yours, sir.
thing is, this movie has a disarming beginning because it's not something you totally expect. It's a guy that's basically doing a deposition, and he's asking Victor Kwong's character, Egg Chen, he's like, do you know where Jack Burton is? You leave him alone. It's like, okay.
Okay, he does.
But,
All right, Orange. He doesn't go. He's like, oh, will you leave him alone?
yeah, he's like, leave him alone. And then, but he's like, yeah, but still. And then he that's when he loses this patient. He's like, you leave Jack Burton alone. He showed great courage. And then
we already
and so
we
the
are
guy,
his debt.
so the guy's going over his demonstration. He's like, green lightning and whatnot coming out of these things.
No.
Or
Green flame. A whole
flame?
block
Yeah,
explodes into
sorry,
green
not lightning. Flame. God dang it! I'm allowed to screw up every now and then. But he's like, I need some proof, please. And he's like, so he just lifts his hands up just like 5 inches apart, and just conjures up lightning in between his hands. It's like, you see, that's just a little bit.
No.
And that's how it starts.
No, okay. I'm gonna have to stop you.
I paraphrase.
Well, you paraphrase. I quote.
Yeah, there you go. But the thing is, but then it brings in Jack Burton, and you then just know that this is going to be a good movie because Kurt Russell back then, he was doing all the great movies. And oh my gosh, the cast of Big Trouble. You got some very heavy hitters in the Asian Hollywood. You got freaking Dennis Dun, James Hong, Victor Wong, Carter Wong, Donald Lee. You got a bunch of them, man. And the Three Storms oh my gosh, their introduction is just it's like, you know that these guys are not to be messed with. But when lightning came down, it's like Lord Raiden got nothing on his ass. Because I saw
Lord
Big Trouble.
Raiden got nothing on me.
Yeah, it's like I saw Big Trouble first. Then I played Mortal Kombat later on. And it's like, did they take that guy from Big Trouble in Little China and put him in a video game? But oh my gosh, man, when they had all that stuff, it was just wow. The practical effects and the digital effects, they kind of work even up to today, but you could still tell it's digital. But the practical effects just were so freaking outrageously awesome when Carter Wong just starts fattening up to blow up. It's like,
Thunder.
Okay. Yeah. And it was just
Thunder, rain, and lightning. Because the skinny guy with the long hair, that's rain.
Yep. But yeah, Thunder, man. When he blew up, when I was a little kid, I'm like, that looks like somebody just raided the freaking salad bar. Or when he blows up, it just looks all green and like lettuce and shit. And I think they did a little later on when I got the DVD that they touched up a couple of things here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But the fights in the movie, oh my gosh, that big fight that happened, then it's just, that movie is so rich with all sorts of different things. The girl or the woman with the green eyes, China has a lot of hells, and also the hell of being cut to pieces, the hell of upside down sinners, the hell of the Holy Dragon, all sorts of hells. And I'm like, man, what the hell is this? But oh my god, it was just so freaking great. And I could geek out about that movie for hours, but I don't think you want to be on for hours. So I'm going to let somebody else take over. So who wants to go next on Big Trouble?
Oh, I'm going to tell you right now. Mine's going to be real simple. I've seen the movie one time in my life, and I don't remember a damn thing about it. I'm going to be honest. It just wasn't a memorable movie for me. I'm sorry. I'm going to lose some points for that. I understand it, but I just don't remember a damn thing about the movie other than Kurt Russell was in it and something about That's a Good Knife. That's really all I remember. That is all I remember of this movie. I'm sorry.
Yep.
That's
Sorry.
Lopan.
Sorry, Dan. Or Orange. I had to top you. I got it on Blu-ray.
Nice. I'm gonna get it. It's on sale on Movies Anywhere. I might just get it on a whim right now.
It was a
Just
fun
because.
movie. I love the costumes. I'm big on costumes, so I love the costumes in this one. The set design was amazing. The stunts were funny.
Oh yes, they
and you
were.
talked about the digital effects, but I actually like the digital effects in the film. I think it worked.
I
Even
agree.
today, looking back at it, Kurt Russell's always great. So yeah, but I would say the costumes and the stunts were the most memorable for me.
Yeah.
My favorite part.
But yeah, Kim Cattrall was a freaking. I don't care for people who were growing up at like 8 or 9 or even 10 years old. Kim Cattrall was a freaking knockout back then. When I first saw the movie, I mean, the movie is 86, I believe.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So I was only 1 year old when the movie came out, but I saw it when I was like 5 or 6. But I still had the biggest crush on Kim Cattrall, and it's like, yeah, I like her, and I didn't even know what liking somebody was back then. And it's like, okay, but do you guys remember that freaking furry creature thing?
The ape man. The ape man, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, let me touch. So he just basically shows her his face, and she just passes right out.
Wouldn't you?
Then, yeah, and then
Take a
Lopan comes in as an old guy, and he's like just being a perverted little old man trying to touch her, and she tries biting his hand and whatnot. Like, it's like, what the frick?
And the acting is so over the top.
It really is. Well, and here's the funny thing. I don't know if y'all picked up on this. This is actually Dennis Dunn's character's movie. He's the hero.
Yeah.
Egg Shin is the hero. Jack Burton's the sidekick in there speaking.
Yeah, and even though Jack Burton totally steals it, but it's not his show. It's everybody else's, but Jack Burton. Jesus, aren't you even going to kiss her goodbye? Looks back at her.
Nope.
Nope.
See you around, Burton.
Yep.
Never can tell.
You never know. Yeah, you never can tell.
We really did shake the pillars of heaven, didn't we, Wang?
Yep. Nothing or triple, nothing or double, and all those games. Or yeah, nothing. You're not going to slice that, or nothing or double. Or my knife slices this bottle. He's like, not that bottle, this bottle.
This bottle.
And then he tries slicing it, catches the bottle. It's all in the reflexes.
It's all in the reflexes. Yeah, this movie is so insanely quotable. It's not even funny.
Yes, it is. Oh my gosh!
If you all will indulge me for just a moment, I'll do the opening monologue between the lawyer and Egg. For crying out loud.
Yeah.
Egg Shin. What I'd like to get a feel for is today, what exactly happened? Oh. So you're telling me you really believe in magic? You mean Chinese black magic? Yes, absolutely. Are you really serious about this? Yes. Well, how can I know this? How? Yes, how? Help me out here. You see, that was nothing. That's how it always begins. Very small. Do 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 do. Okay, I'll stop there.
Yeah, I mean, there's also I also like when they start or they take the brew. They're like, or then they're checking out looking for the elevator. Hollow. Fuck it. Sorry, but that was the one F-bomb in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
but it's like hollow, F it. Just a slice, and it's like, wow.
Yeah, because I had always only watched this movie on cable, and I edited out a lot of the language. When I finally got to watch it on, I think like DVD or Blu-ray, I'm like, okay, there's some language in here. Nothing bad. I've heard this all before, so I didn't care. So,
Yeah, sorry about dropping the F-bomb, but it's like that is one of the most iconic F-bombs I had ever heard in cinema. Hollow, F it, click.
I love to do this to him sometimes.
Yeah. But yeah. Oh my gosh. Did you mute me? You muted me.
For a moment.
I said F it.
I know, but how many times do I have to tell you, as long as you do not blaspheme, I don't care if you swear. My streams are not for children, so cut it out.
Okay. But anyway, there's the other guy. There's the other guy that takes a bite out of thing and offers it to Bert, and he's like, later.
It's a fish. He bites it off of a fish.
Yeah, bites that. He's like, He's like, later. Then they all just feel really good after taking that brew. It's like, what the heck did they drink that they all just feel really good about? It's like, what was in that brew?
No idea.
I can see things other men can't see.
Yeah,
I can do things
other men can't do. Yeah,
real things as real as Lopan. Okay,
well, Lopan's not real, is he?
Yeah, he's real. You can touch him. You can make him bleed if it bleeds.
Yep. Well, that's after he did that little ritual thing where he's the wedding. Yeah. Also, one last thing though, when Lightning went up against Egg Chen, and Egg Chen just had like a freaking aluminum fan,
reflectable.
Lightning, and Lightning's like, what the heck?
Hell just happened to me.
Damn. He's like, I just got knocked back like really bad. Oh.
Yep.
But yeah, that movie was just
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's enough for Big Trouble in Little China. So, anybody have a movie they want to talk about? The floor is open. John Carpenter movie. Let's qualify here.
Right.
How about They Live?
Yay!
That was a Carpenter movie.
Yes.
Oh my God, I love that.
It is my favorite. Period.
It is like one of the greatest B movies of all time.
Dude, you guys just heard me squee for the first time on a live stream. I literally just like, I don't do that often.
He squeed with geeker joy.
Yes, exactly. I mean,
I just didn't want to be the one to bring it up.
Me either.
Mama don't like tattletales. Yeah.
I have come here to chew bubble gum and kick ass.
And I am all out of bubble. Oh my God.
Rowdy, the Rowdy one himself, one of my favorite all-time wrestlers from the 1980s, Roddy Piper. The Rowdy one himself. And man, could that man act, even though that was the only movie he ever acted in that I'm aware of. But here's the thing. This also
He was in Walker, Texas Ranger in the show.
Was he? Oh, was he?
Yep.
He did some other movies, but they were all strictly like direct-to-video, low-budget stuff.
Yeah. This was one of his shots at the big time. And man, did he take a shot, and he landed big. So
even though his character died, I believe his character died at the end.
Yeah.
Yes.
His character went out like a boss.
Yep.
The way he went out, where he was just like, what was it? He was like, just fuck it. And he just shoots the darn thing. And, and
then they blast him.
He sees it blow up. And and then,
he realized he could die now that the mission was done. And oh my gosh, man.
Yeah.
The fight in the alley between him and I think it's Keith David.
David
Keith. It is.
Or David Keith, one of the two. Yeah. David Keith.
Keith David's the white guy.
Yeah, no. David Keith. And oh my gosh, man. That it's like how did they do that fight without not getting actually bruised and broken?
Well, that's because Roy
All
Piper
because he
was
wouldn't-
he was a wrestler.
Right.
Yeah,
He knew how to choreograph fights.
he also busted his own damn.
all because he went.
He
The
busted
whole
his.
fight was because he wouldn't put the glasses on.
No, right?
Just put the freaking glasses on. No.
Glasses on.
Put them on.
No.
No. Put them on. No. Okay, fine. I'm gonna have to kick your ass now.
Yep. And oh my gosh, he accidentally busts up the window, and he's like, "Oh man,
Yeah.
I'm sorry," and he just freaks out and just hits another part of it, and then he starts laughing at him, and it's like that fight was just so everywhere.
Yeah.
It was just so everywhere on the emotional spectrum: happy, joy, sad, pissed, angry, everything.
Mhm.
It was like a
And then he-
schoolyard fight between two kids.
Yeah. Oh my
Essentially,
gosh.
yep.
Girl screaming.
Girl.
Yeah, I squealed. There's a difference.
No, there isn't. No, there isn't. But yeah, honestly, this movie,
Yes, there is.
no, there isn't.
I have
And
no
James-
opinion
and James-
whatsoever.
And Jane's thinking, what the heck did I get myself into here?
Welcome to the Ambassadorial wing, Jane.
That's my line. How dare you?
Well, you are the same guy who got mad at us for talking about coffee on the chat earlier.
That was
I was-
funny.
I was joking, and you know it, Jesse. Now quit.
Yes, I know you were. Oh God. Okay. Hey, Ambassador. So give us your take on They Live. Give us your spill on it.
I think this movie has still remained culturally relevant. I have only seen it a handful of times, to be perfectly honest, but I remember it very well. And I think what Carpenter did with this movie speaks so prevalent, so strongly to the culture of today. Not so much the culture of the time, in a manner of speaking, but so much the culture of today, particularly when it comes to movie culture or pop culture or anything like this. Anything with so much messaging that's put into movies and into TV shows and everything else. And you very much have to be careful what you have to disseminate, what you watch and what you consume. And this film is so in your face with, particularly when Piper puts the glasses on
Mhm.
and he realizes that the whole world around him has been overrun by aliens, and they are basically just controlling humanity through subliminal messaging, but nobody realizes it. And you could make the argument that this was Carpenter looking to a crystal ball and seeing what's going to be coming in the future.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
honestly, I think this movie truly is a masterpiece in so many ways. Now, I don't know if it's based on any type of short story or anything like that. I don't know if it's an original story or what, but I think honestly, They Live. You could watch that movie 10 years from now, and it would still be relevant.
Yep.
So we're talking about
Yeah.
2030, 10 years.
Yep.
Or
Oh
we all
my
know that'd
gosh.
be-
Did you guys back when episode 9 was coming out? This has to do with They Live, trust me. Did you guys
Mhm.
see the They Live artwork that they did for that trailer or for that poster?
Mhm. Yeah, consume, obey, consume.
Yep.
Yep.
And it's like, that's the thing. Disney is basically the aliens and They Live.
Whoa. Talk about a deep dive.
Yeah. But
Oh,
my
that-
favorite
that's a
one of my
whole
favorite
other-
parts to
I
that
don't
movie,
really want to go there.
besides the fight, besides the bank shootout, besides the fighting and whatnot, was the absolute end of it, where they're all able to be seen and the woman looks down while she's making love to the guy, and he's like, "What's wrong, baby?"
Oh my god!
It's like, what do you think is wrong, ugly?
Yep.
I don't know. I thought the guy in the bar was the best part at the end before the woman.
Yeah, everybody's looking at him, and he's just like, he's like oblivious. He's just watching the news, thinking, "Oh my gosh, that dude in the bar." Here's basically my thoughts on the whole thing. He's looking and he's seeing that everybody can be seen and whatnot, and he's basically saying, maybe if I just sit still really good, nobody will see me. And everybody around him is looking at him. And it's like, yeah, dude, they see you. You're not hiding
it is like,
anymore.
there's no, like, I don't think there's a single throwaway scene in that movie.
Mm-mm.
Every
there really
scene
isn't.
just works. I mean, just down to, like, you remembering how, the woman looking down. I'm like remembering, oh yeah, the guy at the bar, and then they're like talking on the radio, and they're on the TV. He's like, "You look like shit. I'm out of here." He's like, "What's going on?" All
I
this
know,
sex
right?
violence has got to stop.
Mhm.
In my mind, this is a movie that I gotta agree. I think it was way ahead of its time. I think that this movie, if they tried to have made it now, they'd be like, "We can't make this movie. It's too close to home
Yep.
with the climate we have."
You
There's
think?
no way. Oh, I do think that's why. I think that's why this movie has become.
They had a sequel.
very. No sequel. No.
No, they did.
Oh,
It's
did?
just not. It's just nobody watched it.
Wow. I wasn't even aware of that.
I mean,
I think I remember
They
that.
Live had a sequel, but nobody cared enough to watch it because it wasn't Roddy Piper in it.
And what's
But
funny
yeah,
is
I
I
mean,
didn't
that-
remember who the actor was. I'm just now finding that out because I'm not a wrestling person or whatever.
I can't remember I can't remember the actress's name. The backstabbing bitch. What was her damn
Oh, the
name?
one with the eyes.
Yeah, the crazy eye lady chick.
Meg Foster.
But that was her. That's right, because I remember her as Evil Lynn in Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That woman has the most unsettling eyes.
Yeah.
I
Sorry,
mean, those
I had
are
to throw
eyes
up.
that truly conjure nightmares to a kid, anyway. But yeah, that movie is just waff, man.
I loved how
It blows your head. It
think.
blows your mind as a kid, but as an adult, it's like now that you understand what it's the messages and all that stuff.
Mhm.
You're basically, as an adult or as a kid, you're basically seeing what they want you to see. But as an adult, you're now seeing the whole picture.
Mhm.
It's kind of like
Mhm.
what happens in the movie, where you're blind to what's going on until you put on those glasses.
Now, here's a question, and did anybody see the actress, the one with the eyes, the one we were just? Did anybody actually see her going to do that betrayal? Because I'm telling you what, if that was foreshadowed or echoed, I missed it completely.
Thing is, everybody missed it. She played it perfect.
Okay, good. I'm not the only one, because normally that nowadays you get movies now or you get TV shows where they're like they make this big like surprise secret and everybody's all like, we all saw that coming.
Yeah.
It's like, he was a bad guy. Yeah, we knew that. Yeah, we all.
I mean, the
figured
only
out.
way that you would have known she was going to turn on anybody. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're
Is
good.
the only way that you would know that she was going to turn on somebody is if you knew her other parts in other movies where she plays evil characters or whatnot. I mean, anybody who plays Evil Lynn, you know she's going to be a backstabber in another movie.
Yeah, but it just, I mean, yeah,
But she played it so well.
I didn't see it coming, and it was just a shock to me. And I was like, now that was like one of my first introductions to a plot twist, just because I was so young. I mean, I was probably 10, 11. I mean, I watched a lot of violent crap. I grew up in the 80s. You know, our parents let us watch all kinds of crazy stuff.
Same here, man. Late 80s, early 90s. I was seeing adult content when I was like 4 years old. So yeah.
That's all my thoughts. Somebody else take a round at it.
But yeah, man, when she did that, sorry, last part before I let somebody go. When she turned on him, it was very sudden. She just pulls the gun and boom, that's it. And that's when you know it's like, holy crap, she just blew his freaking brains out. But yeah, that was just so sudden. Next.
Okay, I'll go.
Yeah.
So, I think the whole message in the film about, you know, subtle mind control basically through mass media is one that's just gotten more relevant as time has gone on. And by the way, I was looking at Wikipedia, and it is based on a short story. It's based on a short story that was written in the 60s called 8 o'clock in the morning.
Interesting.
And it was kind of like his last really good movie in the 80s. You know, it was like after that, he kind of in the early 90s, he did In the Mouth of Madness. And that was like the next really good movie he had after he did They Live.
Yeah. That is okay. Everybody definitely subscribe to Speaker of the Dead. That dude that's the comment of the night.
Speaker, you, sir. Cheers.
It's like, holy crap. I have just imagined a meme.
Oh,
you know the scene in the store where he sees the old lady.
He's like, "Lady, you're okay. You real effing ugly."
Yeah, it's like, and he's like, take off these glasses. She looks like a normal person. I put them on. I can't remember what he says exactly. And it's like, just imagine that being about SJWs. That entire turn that into SJWs. Holy,
Speaker for the Dead, you get a gold star and a cookie, and I mean that with all sincerity.
Holy crap! Somebody make that into a meme. Somebody find freaking pictures of the movie of that scene.
You put the glasses on, and they all look like NPCs.
Yeah, there you go, and there you go. Yeah, that is like going into the 19th century.
That is hilarious.
Speaker of the Dead, you got to make that meme now. You did it.
I'm not a memer. I mean, I know some memers. I know like freaking Genesis, the Senate, and a couple others. They could possibly do it, but I don't have that particular talent of memery.
Speaking of which, I got to work on my montage for Doomcock this week.
Hail Doomcock. Sorry, that's kind of
Doomcock
engineered in me.
Yeah, sorry. Name drop. No, I mean, yeah, the movie the movie is just so good. We could probably spend all night talking about this movie.
Yeah, but
that movie is also an emotional tugger. It hits all the right emotions.
I just like how it leaves you questioning your reality, not just in terms of like marketing and consumption, but just even in terms of leadership and government and politics.
It makes you wonder exactly.
Yeah. How
deep did it go? I mean, you have that Kenny Rogers guy, God rest him, but that he was a Texan and he's basically working with them, but he's not one of them. And when the shootout begins, he's like, "See ya, folks." Like, It's like, okay, he just pulled a Roger Rabbit, or not, Bugs Bunny rather.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay, let's see. Has everybody had a turn to pick a movie? Jane, have you had a chance yet?
mine was gonna be They Live.
Oh, okay. Well, darn. Sorry.
No, it's cool.
Let's see. Well, let's see. Classics. Have you? I think you had a turn, haven't you?
To pick one, yes.
Okay. I guess it's back around to me then. I'm quite literally looking at our wall of movies and saying, okay, John Carpenter, John Carpenter, John Carpenter, John Carpenter.
Vampires. Sorry, I was reading something. Another list of John Carpenter's movies.
I'm
Okay.
surprised nobody's been Escape from New York yet.
I honestly have never seen Escape from New York. But I have seen
Neither
Escape
have
from
I.
LA. But I've seen Escape from
I
LA.
wanted to see it. I only saw one scene from Escape from LA.
I saw the whole thing. I love the movie. Is everybody good if we talk about Escape from LA? Because honestly, I can't really talk about Escape from New York too much.
Sure.
Has
All right,
everybody
well,
seen
what was the
can't
second
remember
one?
that one.
Which one was the
But,
second one?
Escape
that's
from LA.
Escape from
Okay,
LA
yeah.
was the sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You may have survived New York. You may have escaped. What was it? You may have escaped New York.
Escape.
You may have survived Cleveland.
Survive Cleveland.
It's LA.
This is LA, pendejo.
Mother FO can kill anybody.
I mean, I only remember one scene. It's like, when these cans hit the ground, draw. Throws the cans up and blasts everybody. Then the cans hit the ground, draw.
Oh, okay. One thing. Okay, well, because I remember this movie very well, even though I haven't seen it in a long time. It has a really good. Again, it has a really good cast. Of course, this is another Kurt Russell reprising his role as Snake Plissken, one of the most meanest badasses ever to be seen in film. And you've got Michelle Forbes, you've got Stacey Keach, you've got, I think it's Hal Holbrook as the president. And oh, for heaven's sakes. Doesn't Pam Grier have a cameo in this too?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so does Peter Fonda. Peter Fonda has a cameo in this as well.
And Pamela Grier plays Hershey DeSalvo, the most die-for number you ever laid that one eye on. Or something like that. I may have seen the movie a time or two.
Uh-oh, I'm in trouble with my mod. You do a John Carpenter theme and you can't even you haven't seen Escape from New York? Shame.
No, you got to say that right. Shame.
Shame.
Okay, let me qualify my remark. I have never seen it all the way through, but I have seen bits and pieces of it. And I know the doll. I know the Donald Pleasance plays the president, and I know about the scene on the. I think it's the Brooklyn Bridge where they're trying to get out of the city. But I have not seen all of it all the way through. But Escape from LA, I've seen all the way through, and I loved that movie to death. And it's still, and here's the crazy thing. This is another one that's actually somewhat pertinent to our current culture. Because if you recall, Brian Hill, shame. Shame, ring, shame, ring, shame, ring, shame.
Brian Hill. You must see all his movies as penance.
Yes. What Orange said. Okay.
And you
Back
are
on
not allowed
topic.
to sleep until you do.
Okay, back on topic. Because here's the crazy thing. They built a wall around California.
Was it a wall? Wasn't it that it, like, most of California had sank?
No, yeah, it was an island. LA was an island.
New York is the one where they built a wall.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, LA is the one where they built the wall around it and everything. And yeah, you're right. Sorry, I got my wires crossed. So, oh, private chat. Oh, it's Jesse. as I've said before, my streams are not for children. So if there's anything you want to say, I don't know if you lean right or left or anything, but that's okay. No worries. But I honestly, this was my real first introduction to Snake Plissken as a character, and I love Kurt Russell as this character. And Plissken is the iconoclast of an anti-hero.
Call me Snake.
Yeah.
Skin.
He was also the inspiration for a video game that came out of Japan.
Really? I did not know that.
Are we talking
Metal Gear Solid.
Are we talking Metal Gear? I knew that's where you were going. Metal Gear.
Huh.
Yeah,
Big
but
Boss
no,
was Big Boss and Iroquois Pliskin, which was Solid Snake's undercover.
Iroquois. Oh yeah, Iroquois Pliskin. Yeah, I remember that one.
Huh. I did not know that.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. I actually started laughing when I was playing the game and I heard that. I was like, "Are you serious?"
Also, if you look at Snake Plissken's look, he's basically Big Boss in his prime.
Mm-hmm.
Just with the eye patch before he lost his eye, because Snake or Big Boss in his prime didn't have his eye lost at the time. He lost it during his prime, yeah. But yeah. Oh yes, congratulations.
Yes, definitely. Hey,
I'm actually
man.
over. Well,
All
we've
right.
already done all that. But Fallon Reacts, thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Glad you could.
Cheers.
I've already done that part. You're behind.
Yeah, well,
as always.
I'm cheering you now. And I'm also setting up my camera so I can. There we go.
Good grief.
I love that beanie. That is gorgeous. Any man who can wear orange that good.
But yeah, the one thing that I love about this, well, numerous things I love about this movie is it's a very straightforward story, but you never know what Snake is going to do in this film. You never know how he's going to react to a certain situation or what he's going to do to get out of a certain situation. And I remember the ending very, very well because he's essentially sent into LA, not so much to rescue the president's daughter, but to get back. It's some sort of briefcase or whatever that has some sort of doomsday device called the Sword of Damocles or whatever. That's basically a worldwide EMP that would shut down the entire freaking world.
666.
6. Yep. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Interesting name because I know the whole thing about Sword of Damocles.
I think that's the name of it. I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure that's what the device is called. And what ends up happening is Snake gets his hands on the remote, and he's there in the woods or anything with Michelle Forbes and with Stacy Keach's characters, and he's actually using a holographic projector, and they're like, "Give us the remote, give us the device," and Stacy Keach's character says, "Snake," and Snake goes, "The name is Pliskin," and he hits the button and turns on the device and basically sends the whole world back to the Dark Ages. And you see him as the ultimate badass at the end of the movie. He's got a book of matches, and he's looking at the match as it's ignited. He looks at it and looks at the camera, blows it out. It says, "Welcome to the human race." And it goes to black. And you think this is a world that Snake Plissken can very much survive in.
That's pretty freaking dark. I love it.
But
I love it.
Like I said, Snake Plissken is a anti-hero. He is like the
Yeah.
he is like the model for a anti-hero. He does not fight because he thinks it's right. He fights for himself and to survive, obviously. And that's one of the
Man, him and
Yeah.
Deadpool would get along great.
Hey,
man.
Ambassador, I'm
Yeah.
gonna disagree with you on one thing about the movie.
Okay.
Where you thought you didn't know what Pliskin was going to do or Snake was going to see. I knew exactly what he was going to do the whole movie. Everything he did was, and it's because I'd seen Escape from New York.
Okay.
So like that, one of the best scenes was when he's like, he's going through all that crap he's got, and he's looking at it, and he's like, "Am I gonna? Are you guys going with me? Nah, we're gonna see." Okay, and then he just shoots him, and then he's like, "We thought you'd try that." So we put the first load with blanks. Now I'm just like, okay, I could believe
Yeah.
it. And then he does the basketball thing. And
Mhm.
look, as far as he is concerned, he really doesn't care. I mean, you could look at the first movie, Escape from New York and LA, you just realize he doesn't care about anybody except himself. That is all he cares about. All he's trying to do is survive. He is
Yep.
doing what he has to do to survive, and he does not care who gets killed in the process. He never gets upset about anybody dying. He could care less. It's just, he is the embodiment of just like that. I don't care about anything but me. He is about as self-centered a hero as you're ever going to get.
Yeah. I would
And he just sells it well.
I would wholeheartedly agree with you. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, and to kind of get into some of the tropes that Carpenter uses in his films, his characters are very unconventional. They are by no means cookie cutter. They're not. How do I want to say this? They're unique. They're all very unique. They don't fit into your atypical trope for a character in a movie. In some instances they do, but in a lot of instances they don't. But for the simple fact that Carpenter is such a good writer. He knew what he was doing when he was writing these scripts and writing these characters. And that's why his movies have been so appealing and have lasted so long, is because they're engaging. The characters are always intriguing. They're always engaging. And they, in one form or another, represent the human condition. So.
And also related to that, he's really good with establishing the world in which they live too. For me, in this film, that would be, I don't remember a lot of it because it's been a while. But I remember the setting. I remember the environment that they were living in and the struggles that they were dealing with in the societies. I love that about this film.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things about this movie that kind of really sets a tone for me is the political part of it. The whole idea of, and just ironically, let's take this now. You have a disaster. We have a pandemic going on. People are freaking out. Crap's going to happen. People are going to die. Somebody's going to get hurt, And I'm hearing that, I'm hearing things like the president needs to, and I'm going to try to keep this as not political, but it's well, to me, it's just the way it is. I see it, is now they're saying, hey, you need to take over industry. Well, when you don't have toilet paper already here and you have a free market and you let the government control that stuff, then you're going to wonder why you don't have it available to you, because you're waiting on someone whose priority is based on not capitalism, not providing supply, for lack of a better term. So when you sit here and they said, this president, there was a disaster to happen, and then this president took a lifetime appointment, and then you get to the end of the movie, and Pliskin's asking that guy, he's like, got a cigarette? United States is a non-smoking country. No alcohol, no women, unless you're married. No caffeine, no red meat. And he's like, land of free. I'm like, it doesn't take much. There's a saying that is very powerful to me because it makes sense.
Mhm.
It's not too far away from what that movie was kind of going with. You can vote your way into tyranny. You're going to
Mhm.
have to kill your way out of it.
Yep.
And you know what's
Right.
really, it's funny you should say that, because what's even more similar to that is there was a recent article about some country that's being affected is suspending their elections. And there's been talk of there have been states that have done that for the primaries here. And you have to wonder, how far is that going to go?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Well, here's the thing, and I don't want to get super political on this because that's not what my channel's about. But I'll touch on it.
Yeah, I did not want to try and take
No,
it
no,
there.
no.
I just
No,
wanted to-
well, no, Jess, it's all good. Really, the Ambassadorial Wing's about exchange of ideas, whether it's pop culture or whatever. I don't care. I think they'll probably in the summer, once they are able to get a handle on this, and because the one thing about the virus is this, it is actually very susceptible to heat. I don't know if I know this has come from a very reputable source. It's not from some fly by night piece of crap and everything. The virus is susceptible to heat. So once we get into late spring and summer, you'll see this thing slow down if it doesn't start slowing down already. And we'll be able to get a handle on it. So more than likely during the summer, they'll probably get all these primaries pushed back in and they'll get to the convention. So I don't see this going on. I don't see these delays on the primaries going on for really, very long, but I do understand why they're doing it, because they don't want people potentially getting sick.
Mhm.
So, but that all being said, yeah, I think honestly, with Escape from New York and Escape from LA, if you just look at the two of them together, Carpenter was actually saying a few things about the dangers of governments like the ones that are depicted in these movies. And I think this was a very constructive way that Carpenter did it, because he was talking about what would happen if the United States turned into a sort of a totalitarian regime. I mean, yeah, we still have a president, but he's got a lifetime appointment, and that's pretty much it. we're stuck with Hal Holbrook as the president, and he's kind of a whack job. I mean, I'm a Christian, but even he goes way over the line and everything when it comes to his rhetoric and how he views things. And I don't subscribe to his brand of. I don't subscribe to that particular character's brand of Christianity.
Well, what I think he was doing was he was trying to turn America from the way they were setting it up is he turned it from a republic to basically a theocracy.
Yeah, and that's never a good idea.
No, it's not.
So, Clancy, you've been kind of quiet. Are you okay, man?
Yeah, I'm good. So, honestly, I think, Escape from LA is all right. It's not one of my favorite movies by Carpenter. I think Escape from New York is better. I think it's more memorable, and I think it's just it's much more quotable than Escape from LA is.
Okay.
And I think that what you said about the breakdown of society and all that. I mean, that's always a danger. He kind of touches on that.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like in They Live as well. It's kind of the same thing to an extent.
Okay. Let's see. Is there a movie y'all want to cover next, or I could pick something? Either way.
I think it's up to the ambassador this time. But
or classic.
How about
classic?
Starman?
Sure. This is actually a little bit different. This was a little bit of a different one for Carpenter, because this one's much more upbeat, much more what's the word I want to use?
More lighthearted, more kind of family entertainment.
Yeah. I think that's accurate. And didn't it actually get nominated for an Oscar or something?
I don't remember. It might. I mean, it might have gotten something minor like best editing or
Yeah.
something. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, and this is one of Jeff Bridges' earlier roles too.
Yeah.
For those who might not recall, because he plays the alien. I can't remember who the woman is though that is with him. But yeah,
That was
Hi.
Karen Allen, who was in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
oh, okay, yeah, Karen, yeah. I had seen Starman, but it's been a while, so yeah, Karen Allen and everything. She plays the I guess you want to say the love interest, in manner speaking. So yeah, this one, I think this came out. Didn't this come out around the same time as E.T.?
No, this was a couple of years later, I think.
Was it? Okay.
1984.
Okay. Yeah, I was just a youngin' at the time. Yeah, the dude as an alien.
But it's very much, like you said, it's unlike his other films. It's very much it has, a lot of kind of a Spielberg feel to it. It's kind of very much along those lines.
Mm-hmm. I would wholeheartedly agree with you on that one.
And it's very much, considering his approach with the thing, of course, this is a polar opposite of that. And it's very much kind of a stranger in a strange land kind of story, fish out of water, in effect.
Oh, yeah.
But, instead of like a human going into a strange environment, it's more an alien coming in out of environment and trying to adapt to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also really, because most of Carpenter's films weren't really hits. Halloween was a big hit, and this was a big hit, and I don't know, that's about it. Most of his others, they were kind of like box office disappointments.
In some cases, yeah, unfortunately.
That later became cult classics.
Yeah. They had what they had legs. So as we like to say nowadays and everything, these movies had legs and everything, and they've gone on to be cult classics. So Abe, anybody else have thoughts on Starman?
No, I
Never
don't
saw
really
it.
remember it.
I've never seen it.
I feel bad now.
I've never seen it. I honestly never have.
I feel guilty. I'm the host of this thing, and I forgot to. I should watch this sometime. So we'll make a list of John Carpenter movies that have not been watched by the Ambassador. So Escape from New York and Starman. That's two right there. I'll definitely need to watch those and do reviews on them or something. Abs for sure. So.
Well, this one's also got a lot more laughs in it because of the fish out of water aspect. Because once, one thing that always sticks out in my mind is funny is one point they're in a car and he's driving and they're approaching an intersection and then the light turns yellow and he guns it, and just tears right through. And of course, keeps going once it turns red. And of course, nearly gets them killed. And then she's like, "What are you doing? I mean, haven't you been watching me? Don't you understand how to drive?" And he's like, "Yeah, green is go, red is stop, yellow is speed up."
The basic truth of driving.
That's why I got T-boned probably a few years ago.
Sad but true. Well, not to mention you've got a great comedic actress in Karen Allen, so that always helps because that woman knows how to get a laugh out of people.
Mm-hmm.
Because by and large, a lot of her films or anything that she's done have always leaned have leaned fairly heavily on the comedic aspect of things. So, seeing her, well, and not to that, just Jeff Bridges himself, he's a very capable comedic actor as well. So, seeing him and Karen Allen work together, that's not a bad thing, truth be told. So. Excuse me. So, Jesse and everything brought up one, and it's actually one that I have seen, but it's been a while. Is Memoirs of an Invisible Man. And unless I'm mistaken, that's Chevy Chase, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
That was a Carpenter movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Jane, just out of curiosity, have you seen it?
I have never seen this film.
This is a very much a lesser known. This is a it's kind of it's a spoof of the original Invisible Man with Claude Rains from the 1930s, which was done numerous times over with sequels and so on. And there's even an Abbott and Costello version of the Invisible Man, or at least the Invisible Man makes a cameo in the film. So,
How do you make a cameo if you're invisible?
it's a voice. It's called a voice cameo.
I know.
I don't know who's on first.
What's on
I
second?
don't know. I don't know who's on third.
I don't know.
But yeah, Memoirs of an Invisible Man, it's one of his lesser known movies and everything, but it's still a good one because it's Chevy Chase, and you can never go wrong with Chevy Chase. Truth be told, and that's the truth and everything. And this was 1980s, wasn't it, Jesse?
Let's see. 1992.
Oh, 90. Okay, 92.
Yeah, it was. The next one would have been Mouth of Madness after that.
Okay.
If Wikipedia is telling me the truth, which it's normally not.
Well, sometimes Wikipedia is usually pretty good. So,
my thing was, I was actually shocked when I saw this movie. First off, I didn't even realize it was a John Carpenter movie. I thought it was going to be a comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had seen National Lampoon, so I'm thinking Chevy Chase, Invisible Man. I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be a comedy, and then the movie is just dramatic, and I'm not going to say it's a slow pace, but it has a very kind of steady pace, but you can feel some parts are a little slow in it. And I was kind of stunned at first because I was waiting for it to get funny. I was waiting to laugh, and I never did. And then I was like, yeah, I had to ask my grandmother. I was like, well, what was that? I mean, older now, I do quite enjoy the movie. It just was a shocker to me. It's like seeing Adam Sandler or, try and do a dramatic role or Ace Ventura guy. They don't work.
It's a movie that's not expected from the actor.
Yes.
Yeah, because you don't expect Chevy Chase you don't expect him to do dramatic roles. He's a comedian first and foremost, and that's his kind of his niche. So him doing a dramatic role and John Carpenter doing a movie like this is kind of out of the box for him. But then again, John Carpenter, by and large, his entire career has been very much outside the box.
And strangely enough, the movie worked.
I
mean that the way he got his revenge at the end, I was just like, I jumped out of my chair and I was like, yes. I was like, you fell for it, literally. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you probably haven't seen the movie.
I saw that movie when I was like 8 years old, and I only saw it once.
I only saw it once in the theaters, and I really haven't seen it since. So it's kind of vague to me.
I mean, I remember the parts I remember are he was taking off the wrappings and she faints. When the whole thing happens where part of the building is invisible and they have a searchlight on it and they can't see him. yet the searchlight is right on him, but he's invisible. And they were looking for him, and they had the thermal cameras, and they caught him in a train, I think.
Yeah. No, when I was talking about the ending was what happened was they were trying to find him because they wanted to experiment him, and the guy who was in Jurassic Park, and actually he was in the
Sam Neill.
Thank you, Sam Neill, that guy. Yeah, he's the bad guy, and he's trying to get him. And so what's going on is Chevy Chase has got his coat, and he's like literally hanging it like a Toro thing. He's making him think Sam Neill's that he's going to jump out the window, and he's playing like suicide. And he's like, I'm going to try. Then Sam Neill grabs it, and there's nothing there because then he just I don't know what he said afterwards, but it's just like that was a little sadistic. I was like, that was some sadistic shit from Chevy Chase.
Mm-hmm.
It just was so out of the box, but somehow the movie worked.
Well, I'll definitely put it on the list of ones I haven't seen because I think I've seen clips of it, but I've never seen it all the way through. So this is definitely another one I'll need to. Y'all have given me some good movies to go back and catch up on and everything. So
The scene he just described made me remember it. Wow, I actually remember that now.
I'm actually surprised I remembered it. I haven't seen the movie in forever.
Yeah.
Same here.
So everybody in the chat and everybody that watches on replay, we've given you a list of movies you can go watch now while we're all under all the theaters are closed and everything's closed, and all you can do is go to the store and get groceries and stuff. Go look for these movies or find them online or find them on Amazon or whatever. Go find them. Go watch them. If you want me to do reviews of them, the ones I haven't done already, I'll do it happily. Hey, I am all about covering pop culture. And right now, me being a retro channel helps because I've got all this backlog of stuff and everything, or back catalog of stuff that I can go back and cover. Because
let's face it, we're all retro channels right now.
American speaking, yes.
Yeah.
So
I'm a groupie.
And hey, that's okay too.
I mean, Bloodshot's going to be out like next week, but
I thought it was already out.
Yeah, I think that's out already.
no, I'm talking about out on digital.
Oh, you mean? Oh, yeah, they're going to stream it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're talking about streaming Upward, I think it is.
Yeah.
For Disney Plus.
Yeah, Onward has already been released on digital.
Is that
Yeah.
right? Maybe that's.
I saw that on new releases on Movies Anywhere. I'm like, holy crap! They just released that. That movie was still in theaters as far as I knew, but it bombed so badly because people wouldn't give it a chance because the marketing wasn't that well.
No,
what movie was that?
Onward.
It's by Pixar. It's about elves and magic
Onward.
and stuff.
Yeah, that looked terrible to me. But
the problem
then
was
again,
that they marketed it much like Disney has been with the whole representation thing, and it's been pissing off a lot of people. Now, from what I've seen, a lot of people who have seen this movie, who are part of the communities that we all know, they actually said it's not a bad movie. That's a throwaway line.
This is
It's
the
not
unicorn thing.
quote unquote woke as they all say it is.
Mm-hmm.
Or as they all thought it would be because of that one thing. And that's the problem. All these media sites are saying, oh, it's so awesome that they're going to have LGBTQ representation or this kind of representation or whatever. And people are turned off by that. They don't realize that the media sites like We Got This Covered and other sites, and even, yes, Bounding Into Comics, because Bounding Into Comics reported on it, they don't realize that they harmed this movie.
Bounding Into Comics is a piece of garbage site. Sorry, had to get that one off my chest.
I thought the film just looked stupid.
I think maybe it was like this. Maybe it had the Big Hero 6 issue that my wife and I were talking about. We didn't go see Big Hero 6 because we didn't know what the hell it was about. The trailer told us nothing. And we eventually got the movie and watched it. And we were like, my wife and I were like, we love this movie. Kids love it.
Yep.
I loved it
But
too. I mean, that movie had me crying like a.
Oh, I know.
Well,
I even think it's on Disney Plus right now. I'm actually go check it out.
That movie is good.
It's a solid movie.
I know. My daughter said Frozen 2 was already on Disney Plus. I'm like, already?
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think it is. Of course, we've got
Disney Plus is going to be doing a heavy drop in April. Not a drop in production or anything. I mean, a heavy release. They're doing a lot of releases in April, basically, is what I mean. They're dropping a lot of content into it, which was meant to be spread out through the year, but because the beer bug is out there, yeah.
That's a good one, Orange, the beer bug.
Well, that's what a lot of people are saying, because otherwise, if you say the actual term for it, they're going to suppress your channel.
Yeah, you can get videos pulled.
Well, here's the funny thing. I did a video on it just a few days back earlier this week, and it hasn't been touched.
Yes, but how many views has that gotten? Has it gotten the average views?
Thus far, I've gotten 26 views on it.
What's your average?
That's actually up from my average on some of my videos. But I've gotten smarter in how I tag and how I title my stuff, and that's because of the people I'm working with in Gray Order, and because I'm listening to the people who are experts on this.
I did a video on that. Sorry for the digression of the topic, but I did a video on it basically covering not the health aspects, but the business aspects. What is going on in my town, so to speak? The theater, that's a privately owned theater. It only has 2 screens, and it depends how. And the manager, my friend that I go there to talk to, he needs business to go into that theater, and it shut down right when Onward was playing, and I'm like, damn, this sucks. And he's like, the struggle is real. I mean, I'm not hungry, but I just want to eat right now. And it's like, dude, yeah, I know. It sucks having to be stuck inside all the time. I mean, he's not elderly. He's a year younger than me, so we're allowed to go out when we need to, but it's not encouraged right now. Sadly, I'm in New York State, which I'm in the Adirondacks, and we have 1 confirmed case in the Adirondacks, or in the Tri-Lakes where I live. And we know it's in Essex County, which is 1 county over from Franklin. So we know it's not in our county, so we know it's not or it's at least 2 towns over. But still, there was somebody that spread a rumor that there was a confirmed case in Tupper Lake, where I live. And I'm like, now that's just stupid. Until I see an actual report, I do not want anybody saying that crap, because that's irresponsible.
Some of them are leaking. Like, I think there is a delay in when we're getting information, because where I live, there had been a rumor for some time about a death, and we didn't find out until several days later.
Yeah, the problem is they're starting to hide information, and that is something that they should not do. That is something that is a very big no-no. You want the information to be public because you want people to know what the hell is going on. The moment you start trying to censor any amount of information pertaining to the crisis is when a lot of people are going to lose trust in those who are set responsible to handle this. And one of the things that I said is, if they do this, I'm not going to be happy. And I don't want to be unhappy with how things are being handled.
Yeah, same here. So, well, getting back on topic, and I think we're going to do 1 more film, and then we'll kind of wrap this up if everybody's good with that, because we're coming up on 2 hours, and I don't want to go too long or anything. So I thought we'd round back around to kind of where we started. We'll do, I thought we'd cover The Fog. Yeah. If everybody's good.
Hey, Ambassador, I'm gonna go ahead and head out because one,
Okay.
I'm tired. Two, I've never seen The Fog, so I would have nothing to add to it.
Okay.
Same
Well, and, you
here,
know-
but I'm not leaving.
Well,
Okay, well-
I kind of have
honest-
to. Just beat.
Well, and well, being nobody's seen it except me, I may just do that one on my own and everything as a video. So we can honestly, we're at 2 hours. We can go ahead and wrap this up if everybody's good with that, because honestly, we've covered a lot of Carpenter's movies and everything here. So I think ending on the one we did, one of his more obscure ones and everything, is a good point and everything, good place
Yeah.
to stop. So
I'm good with
if
that.
you for those of you that have a channel, if you want to do a final plug or whatever for your channel and everything, and then we'll close out. And if y'all want to hang around for a little bit, except for you, Jesse, and everything, you can do so, or we'll all just sign off. So, Jane, if you want to do a quick plug for your channel, and then we'll just go around the horn.
Sure. I am Jane Theory, and you can find me on YouTube at Jane Theory for movie and television reviews. I'm also on Twitter at Jane Theory, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. Stop by.
Okay, I'm Classic Comics. Review comics on my channel and do reviews of genre TV shows, genre film. I'll actually be dropping my latest review of Star Trek Picard here in just a little while. Hope everyone will come by to give it a look. Thank you.
Orange,
Geek.
I think. Well,
All
Geek
right,
doesn't.
I'll go. Yeah. Oh,
Geek
he
doesn't
doesn't have a channel. Okay.
Just says Twitter, but that's okay.
Yeah. I'm Orange Hat Reviews. I do movie reviews, entertainment news, show reviews, all the some of the controversial stuff. Not all of it, because it's all controversial. But anyway, I also do live streams where I bring panels together. I do versus streams, taking characters from different areas and pitting them against each other. My next one will be April 10th, where it's Goku versus Superman, which has been done by many, but I'm going to take a stab at it too. And also, I'm going to be having a Rambo appreciation stream sometime next week. So stay tuned, and y'all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz.
And as I said, I'm Nobody Geek. You can find me on Twitter at Nobody Geek. If you want to see somebody rant about how much they hate Star Trek Discovery or Picard, I'm one of those guys. You want to hear me complain about Star Wars and why I miss the EU? That'd be the place. Just forewarned, I am a right-wing nut job. I'm very conservative. So if you come to mind, you're going to see those. I try to keep them separated, though. So I can talk both, but I like to be civil. But I do delight in finding out how many people will block me. It's kind of a badge of honor when I beat somebody with facts and then they block me after they've insulted me and called me every name.
Sorry about that. My phone just went off.
But that's it. Thank you for allowing me to come again, Ambassador.
Jesse, you're welcome here anytime. You know that. And to my wonderful panel, Jane Theory, Classic Comics, Orange Hat, and Jesse, thank you all for being here tonight. This was a great celebration. 230 subscribers. Here is to 300 eventually, and onward and upward. A couple of things. Tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock Eastern Time, over on the Great Council channel with Darth Lunga. He will be interviewing Dominic Pace from The Mandalorian. We also, the Grey Order has started a merchandise site or a store, and all proceeds will be going to the CPD, the Chicago Police Department COVID-19 fund. to help them out. All proceeds do go to that charity and everything. So be sure and check out the site. The website is called grayistheway.com, and get you some swag and help out a great charity. And next week I will be resuming my afternoons with the ambassador, with the one and only Adega Alpha, who was be continuing our discussion of Babylon 5. So be sure to keep an eye out for that. And whatever else I am able to put on here, I'll be definitely doing more than anything content. So make sure and share this with you while I'm here. And thank you all very much for tuning in tonight. To my moderator, Shea Stormdragon, Mother of Mods, to Speaker for the Dead, Kathia Star, Adega Outlaw, as I mentioned, Brian Hill, Master of None, but he is a master of many. And everybody else that I might have missed, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting this channel. I would not have been here without you, and I would not have gotten this far without you all. And I greatly appreciate every single one of you. So, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Ambassador, signing off.
Take it easy, folks.
Bye-bye.